Thank you. Maybe have our guests of honor come on stage, please, to have a quick discussion, Charcha, the Thinkers Forum Charcha. And can we take our seats here? You know, we've heard of two young children. One is Takshil and one is Rishan. And well, when I saw Rishan say 3 years back, and when I see him today, I see him progress. And we have children who study with us, and I'm sure you've gone, you've seen many youngsters grow in your hands too, in your capacity as leaders. The question I want to put before you is geniuses. Not everyone needs to be a genius or can be a genius or is a genius, but when I use the term geniuses, I mean talent, and children who grow up to their full potential, their fullest potential. Now, that's the context in which I'm using the word genius. So the question is genius born or made? And that's a question I'll just throw open before we talk further. Mr. John Sarvesh, I think everyone's looking at you first.
I think genius is all about the level of intelligence that you have. It's some people have a little more, some people have a little less. It all relates to the context that we are talking about. In some areas, when we talk about genius, the kind of application that he makes, it matters a lot. Now, we have seen different children. Some is a genius in terms of sports, someone is genius in terms of music, someone is genius in terms of some good invention as a scientist, it comes forward. Well, so long as these geniuses, whether they are young or old, when they are able to make an impact in the field where they're really working on, it's really good. I won't say that the geniuses are born. I'd say that, yes, over a period, their own mindset they are able to develop. And parents, teachers, the society also helps them. But it's the person's determination and the person's desire in terms of certain pursuits that help him to grow in terms of levels of intelligence. So need not be really worried, see, so-and-so is a genius, I am not a genius. Well, it all depends upon the level of intelligence that you want to really develop. And I think one of the child, she was mentioning, yes, she want to really be the best. What we talk about excellence. If you are excellent in the area where you are good at, whether it is in sports or studies or music or any other creative area, I think that's what we need to look at it. They are definitely being made, so you need to really work towards that. That's what I would say.
Thank you. Sarabjeet, Kaur.
We all have different perspectives, I'll put mine. I really believe in Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligence. As to continue with what Sir said, that we all have different talents what we are born with. Some are good in music, some are good in kinesthetic. And then it depends on the level of exposure the child gets, the level of support system, definitely willpower, determination, everything around him, the environment depends. It depends then how it unfolds. So I think we all have a genius in us. It's just the matter of getting the right opportunity and exposure so that we can have those wings and fly. That's all that matters.
Thank you, Dr. Sarvesh, Naidu.
Well, I'm one of those who's come here for a lot of events, and most of the time this hall is less than half full for all those talented performers. But when the children perform, we have a spilling over house like we got today. And that's a clear testimony to the fact that all of you sitting in the audience actually believe in the fact that there's a genius in all of us. That's the first thing, that's why you're here. You're here to recognize that. I think it's very important to understand all of us, maybe whether there's a genius in us or not, there's a lot of talent. And I'm trying to answer Aubrey's question in a slightly deflected way, that I think the important thing is to nurture that. I think you can have everything inside you, but unless there's an ambience, there's an opportunity to be able to nurture it and bring it out on occasions like this and many others. You'll never know whether your child is a genius. But actually, what we do is, we train to narrow the definition of genius. Most of the time it's associated with academics, but a genius could be in any field on the planet. And the important thing is, as a parent, to recognize that and start nurturing that, and you'll be surprised how much more of a talent comes out of your child when you recognize something. So go ahead and recognize them, not just at the Epicenter, but on a daily basis, and they will surprise you a lot more than you're prepared for. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Sarvesh. That's all three of you. Your answers put together have much to think about, much food for thought. Just one question beyond the area of genius, and most children, and I heard a comment from a slightly older, maybe in his mid-20s, saying that this generation is very self-seeking and very they're very independent and seek to do something. It can be a negative, it can be a positive. What is it, and how do we train a generation? And we're talking about Children's Day. We're talking about the future generation of leaders of India. How do we train them to look outwards? How do we train them to think about their country and not just themselves? Think about the community and not just themselves. Think about others, and not just about themselves. I mean, it could be a struggle in a highly competitive environment that we're growing in, that the children find themselves in today. Highly competitive, where if they don't achieve something, they miss the boat. And there are perils of that circumstance. How do we make them better human beings, responsible citizens of India?
It's finally about being a better person, better citizen. The calling for everybody is, yes, it is to excel. You need to do something better, something noble. We all want to achieve. At the same time, we want to achieve in the right way. If you're running in a, say, 400-meter race, and then if you're really leaving your lane, you'll be automatically disqualified. You need to really know you need to understand within which framework that you need to really have your life. So, number one is, when we want to serve society, that leadership or the whole thing is not only for us, it's for the whole society. Now, if Mahatma Gandhi had lived only for himself, probably we would not have got independence today. He felt that his whole life should be dedicated, whether somebody comes or not, his mission, his passion, and his dream in his life was to get freedom for India. I would say he walked on a path with or without. I would say wow. With or without, whether somebody comes along with him or not. In fact, there were occasions when he was walking, many people were not willing to come along with him. But he said, whether other leaders join me or not, my thinking is very clear, and I want to get freedom for India, but not by wrong means, but by the right means. So today we need to teach the young and the old the right values so that the world becomes a better place. India becomes a better place. So it's not just about achievement in the right way. Are we having the right attitude to achieve the right things? So when the school children, when you learn certain things, it's finally, yes, what's the right thing that I really need to go forward? The world is looking for, or India is looking for people who will be able to do more things for the benefit of India. In fact, the cleanliness campaign itself is basically toward to achieve this. As children, as parents, as elders, we need to be involved in making India a great nation. Not just India, but India which is great, India which is noble, India with the right values. That's what we are really aiming at.
Thank you.
I would like to add a pod. When we talk about, this generation is going to take our world ahead after we are gone. Making them responsible citizens stirs a lot of questions in our mind. As parents, we do compare how we spent our childhood doing what and how they are spending. I think Are we spending that kind of quality time with the children today as parents? Are we investing emotionally in them and then asking them to be a better citizen? Are we portraying an ideal example for them? And a simple example, when we tell the children, okay, go read, and then we watch TV. Simple. So we have to be ideal for them. They are going to learn everything from us, knowingly, unknowingly, consciously, subconsciously. It is very important. The kind of environment we put up in school is very important. Is it based on competition or is it based on collaboration? If it's competition, then he or she is going to grow up as a competitive human being, maybe missing some feelings of collaborative work. So I think an environment at home, in school, really depends on, a child really depends on these environments to become the kind of human being he or she becomes when they grow up. So I think it's extremely important to play an ideal role, give them that kind of cushion, emotional, be there with them, spend that time. There's a saying that spend half the money and double the time with your kids if you want them to grow in somebody wiser. So I believe in that.
I'm taking a shortcut at a Chinese saying which tells you something to the extent that if you catch fish for a human being and give it to the human being, you feed them for a day or maybe 2. But if they learn how to do it themselves, they will feed them for the rest of their lives. It's pretty much the same with children. I think we've started shifting away from the idea where we need to teach children. That was probably a generation ago or more. Today's kids are far too smart and a lot more aware. And what we need to do is help them to learn by themselves. And they will learn whether you are there or you're not there. So the most important thing is give them opportunities, give them an ambience, and make them aware of the right and the wrong. And I think kids are pretty good at creating a very positive world for themselves. They do know how to give, probably society, which quite often blocks it. So I think all we need to do is give them an opportunity, let them learn by themselves, and the next generation will take this nation and this world to a far greater place than we perhaps have at our age. So I think I look at the future very, very positively and hopefully. They're in the right hands of the youngsters.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sarvesh Naidu. This is Sarabjeet Kaur, this is John Samuel. Thank you for your words of wisdom, and we have much to live life ahead with. Let's continue this evening enjoying music and dance. Thank you. So come join us in this nation building project. Together we can contribute to our community and our nation. Let us begin by singing our national anthem, Jan Gan Man, with passion, pride and precision, that is in around 52 seconds, thereby honoring and respecting our nation's institutions as laid out in the Constitution of India. Record a video of yourself singing a song of your choice, upload it onto YouTube, and enter the online contest entry form. You would win an opportunity to perform at our annual awards function at a large venue in the National Capital Region. You could also watch our videos on the Come India Sing page of Lorraine Music Academy or on the Lorraine Music Academy's channel on YouTube. Visit Come India Sing page on Facebook and like it. Spread the word and let us together build our nation. Jai Hind.